Even though your eyes can't penetrate deep into the depth of this forest, you already know that it's home for wild animals and birds. But this particular forest here is very unique because it is the home to this man you are seeing here. Meet Matofari Kalimbiro Fidel, a man who decided to leave everything behind and come to live in this forest alone. Oh yeah, you heard me right. Fidel has chosen to spend the rest of his life here living alone. Surprisingly, Fidel is mentally stable and a very intelligent man. He has a family and some properties in the surrounding neighborhoods. But he decided to come here and live in this very small house. Why is this man living in the forest? And how does he survive? This is his amazing story.
Nimeona dunia hii haina shukurani. Na dunia ukafatana vya dunia, mtu anaweza kuaga maisha mbele ya wakati. Ndio nimeona basi. Wangwana usema ni heri kuishi mwenyewe pali uishi na wanafiki. Ndio nimeamua kuyaishi ndani ya pori hii.
We are in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is the home country to Fidel. For 5 years now, this man has been living away from the rest of the world, where his closest neighbors are wild animals and birds. But it has not always been like this. Fidel used to be a popular man in his neighborhood, where he worked as a commissioner for different things. Back in the days, he was always concerned with avoiding any conflict with other people. And that lifestyle came back to haunt him. I have lived in harmony with people. I always avoided problems with other people and tried to amend anything that may upset people around me. But people chose to betray me despite my efforts to take care of them. I worked as a commissioner, and wherever I matched clients with landlords, they would never give me the commission about that work. Yet it was me who presented them together and who did the hardest job to match them. Fidel was a loyal and strict man who fulfilled every promise he provided to people. That's why landlords who wanted clients for their properties would ask him to help them out. And he was always helpful to everybody. But it's this dedication to help others that made him choose to go away from them. At the end of the day, I was so frustrated. I started to wonder why people behaved like that. Everybody wanted to take the advantage of me. And it was so disappointing since my first intention was to live peacefully with everybody. What frustrated me even more is that both the buyer and the seller would benefit from my work, but it was me who was left behind in that whole deal. In fact, my financial stability started to get overwhelmed and overburdened. People are incredibly bad. They treat you so worthless until you really hate life and feel like you cannot trust anyone. The disappointment can easily lead you to commit suicide if you are not strong enough. Fidel has managed to assemble a few things which help him to have a good life in this house. He has a solar panel which he uses to illuminate his house during nights. He also uses it to charge his laptop and mobile phone. Inside his house, there are many African crafts and the massive painting of Nelson Mandela, whom Fidel calls the father of Africa. He also likes to read books which talk about Africa. Surprisingly, Fidel is also an author who uses his laptop to write his own books. This is the chair he always sits on whenever he's reading or writing books.
Kwanza muone viti yangu mimi naikalia. Wakati mimi napenda kutumika natumika. Wakati napenda kuandika mimi naandika. Wakati napenda kuikala katika kiti kizuri mimi wakati napenda kuongea kwenye telefoni ninaita wale watu naona kama hawako wanafiki, wale watu tulikuwa tukishirikiana nao vizuri. Ona mazingira. Ona. Nani mtu mwenye anaweza fikia aishi kama na mazingira kama na haya?
Fidel insists that he's not afraid of wild animals, but afraid of human beings, who are the worst animals according to him. That's why he's not afraid to live away from people. As the saying goes, it's better to live alone instead of living with bad people. That's why I chose to come and live in this forest so that I can live in peace. I only live with birds and other small animals, but I don't meet with people, which is absolutely peaceful. It's important to remember that human beings are the worst animals. I have spent more than 5 years living alone in this forest. Many people have isolated this man because of his choice to live in the forest. He's no longer able to meet with his children, and his wife's family have done everything in their power to further oust him. But he doesn't seem to care, as he chose to live in a very simple life, which is easier to afford. My family no longer wishes to engage with me. My wife has convinced my children to detach from me and to hate me. Her family has isolated me. Even my closest friends have slowly started to detach from me. Finding clothes to wear is not an easy task. I used to have many clothes, and whenever I got money, I would buy more. But since I came to live here, I no longer pay a lot of attention about which clothes to wear or any other thing in that line. I also don't care about my food. I can eat bananas or just drink some water and then sleep. But even if life is not easy for this man, he doesn't plan to return back to the city to live near people. He plans to spend his life here since he has been accustomed to so many benefits that are associated with living in nature. How can you hate a beautiful place like this? There's no noise pollution. There are no children crying, no unintended visitors. I'm in full security. I live in nature and I'm healthy because of the oxygen I breathe here. There's no way I can go back to the city. Look at how birds surround me and how they sing all around me. There's nothing better than this in the city. This is the heaven they talk about. People should avoid making others feel bad. They should avoid sins and betraying their colleagues. That's what God demands from us. Those who betray people will reap the benefits of their worst actions. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.